Hello everybody, this is DreadPirateDuo here, and I wanted to make a video to explain how to install Starvation for 7 Days to Die. Now, Starvation is an extremely fun mod. I've been having a blast on our multiplayer series. If you want to kind of see some of the stuff that we've had to deal with this mod, feel free to check out my channel. You can also check out Cage848, Game Edge, Pam, Ono Coho, or Bish's channel. All of us have videos up. Some like Game Edge and Cage may actually have single-player versions of this up and running, which I think they're crazy for playing single-player because it's got to be crazy tough, but they're doing a great job. Anyways, getting that out of the way, I wanted to go ahead and find a way to do this so that most people can follow it. There's so many different ways that you can do something on a computer that sometimes it can get confusing. A lot of people don't know where their Steam libraries are on their hard drive. They just know how to open up Steam and play a game. And that's good because, I mean, that's all they care about. Some of us, like power users or IT guys, whatnot, we know the ins and outs and how to get there. So this isn't geared for experts that know their way around a computer. This is geared just for someone who goes, man, I really want to try this, but I don't want to go through all the hassle, or I don't understand the guides that are out there right now. The alert that is listed right in this area here says that the mod is very demanding, which it is. They recommend 8 gigs minimum, preferably 16. So I have a lot of memory in my machine. I have 64 because I do a lot of other things than game on this machine. I do a lot of professional stuff for work, and I need the extra memory. So I don't have a problem with memory, but I have seen the memory get up there. So if you're playing on 4 or 6 gigs, it will work. It won't work like perfectly. So you may have some stuttering and some other issues. What we want to do is they have a post for installation instructions. They tell you to always start the game from the launcher. It needs some parameters. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to start the game from the launcher. I'm also going to show you how to start the game directly through Steam. So doing it from the launcher, launching it from Steam makes things a little bit easier, but it can also, it's a couple extra clicks. What we're going to do is scroll down to the second post. In the second post, there is a client server launcher right here that you will need to download. Click on that. It will bring us to a Dropbox, or I'm sorry, a Google Drive location that has a 7-zip that we're going to download. A 7-zip is like a zip file, only it's a different type of compression. Most people don't have the ability to unzip this. If you're someone like me, you have 7-zip installed most likely. So what we're going to do is we're going to first save this file. It's a very quick download. It's only 5 megs. But for those of you that don't have 7-zip, we need to get you 7-zip. So what you'll do is you'll go back to your internet browser here. I'm currently using Firefox. Up in the navigation pane, go to www.7-zip.org. This will take us to the main 7-zip page. This is just a compression utility and decompression utility that's very popular among people, and it's completely free, which is very nice. So I'm using Windows. They put a little thing up here in the corner for you using Windows. If you have a 32-bit operating system, you can download this link. This one will also work on 64-bit, but it's not optimized for it. The 64-bit executable right here will not work on 32-bit machines, but it works way better on 64-bit machines than the 32 version. So click on to download that. What you'll do is you'll go ahead and hit save. Once you hit save, you'll have to go and install the file. I already have it installed on my machine. I actually have a beta installed because I'm testing some new features on it, so I don't want to overwrite that. But yeah, download, get that installed. It's only a couple clicks. Most likely you won't have to reboot after the installation. If it asks you to reboot, you can try to ignore it and see if you can still continue, or you may have to reboot. So just want to give you that warning there. So we're going to close these tabs here, and then we're going to minimize this. What I have is I have Steam in the background, and this is the way I'm going to have I'm going to work mainly through Steam to get you guys where you need to be to install these files. What you'll do is you'll right-click on 7 Days to Die. You will go to the Properties tab. Then from Properties, you will go to Local Files. Inside Local Files, there's this little button called Browse Local Files. That'll bring up this window here for you. So this window is your 7 Days to Die directory that's in your Steam library, where it sits on your hard drive. For me, I have my library on my D drive because that's where I put my games. Yours might say C, it may say something else, but this is where you want to be for 7 Days to Die. You want to go up one level. So I'm using Windows 10, and I can click on Common. So if I click on common, what that does, it takes me up one level, and this is my folder for 7 Days to Die. Now, what I need to do here is I need to make a copy of 7 Days to Die. This is because when we install the mod, I don't want to mess up your existing copy of 7 Days to Die. I want you to be able to play that if you want to. Also, if Steam updates your game in the background, it'll break Starvation unless you make a copy of it that Steam doesn't update. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to right click here, I'm going to hit copy, and then I'm going to right click in the empty space and hit paste. So what'll happen is we're going to go ahead and make a complete copy of the 7 Days to Die folder. Depending on the version of Windows you're running, the name of the folder will be different. It'll either be copy 7 Days to Die or 7 Days to Die -copy. So it may not look exactly like this, but you should be able to tell which folder is the one that you just made. If you don't see another folder here after it's done copying, click off in the empty spot here and hit the F5 key on your keyboard. It's typically positioned above your 5 and 6 number keys at the very top of the keyboard, not the number pad. So hit that F5, and what does it forces the screen to refresh, and you should see a new 7 Days to Die folder sitting there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this, and I'm just going to remove the copy here, and I'm going to call it Starvation. So what that does for me is I now have a new folder that has the 7 Days to Die game in it as it sits today. I believe I'm running 15.2. I think I'm running the latest as of the February 23rd, 2017, which is when I recorded this. Now what we want to do is from your downloads folder, well, we're gonna need that download, that 7-zip file, that Starvation launcher I was telling you about. But you know, first let's make an empty folder. So what you can do is just right click here in the empty spot, go to new, and hit folder. Now you can also hit this button at the top here for new folder, or there's a couple other ways to make a new one, but I chose to show you that way because that's easiest for most people. In the new folder, I want to name this basically 7 Days to Die Starvation launcher. Now I did that for a reason. My folders are grouped by name. So 7 Days to Die Starvation launcher puts it right next to 7 Days to Die Starvation. So for me, it's just easy to see where everything is. So I'm going to open up this empty folder that we just created. I am then going to grab the 7-zip file. Now that's in my downloads folder. That's open on my other screen right now. I'm not going to drag it over because you guys should just be able to do a copy and paste to get it over. The best way to do that is when you open up download, just right click on the file here, go to copy, and then over here click paste, to bring it into the new folder. So what we're going to do here is we have Starvation. I'm going to right click on that, and because I have 7-zip installed, I have this 7-zip option here. And then what I want to do is I want to say extract here. What this is going to do is it's going to extract all the files within the launcher here. Another way you can do this is you can open it up like this. It will open up a 7-zip folder on the screen. You can highlight all these files, drag them over, and drop them. So right now I just did that. It's asked me to replace the files. I'm going to hit yes just because we just got those files. I'm going to go ahead and delete this copy of the launcher because I like to clean up my files. As a matter of fact, I'm even going to clean up my recycle bin. I'm a little bit of a neat freak when it comes to recycle bin and cleaning up files on my drive, because if I don't do it now, I'll forget about it, and then in months when my drives fill up, I'll just go through and find all these little files I should have gotten rid of. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up the Starvation launcher. When we open it up, we're going to get this really cool screen here. It's going to go and it's going to start checking for new files, right? It's going to tell you the version that it sees over here, which is 15.2.9.3. Because this is a brand new launcher, brand new folder as well, we're gonna have to download the entire mod. That takes some time based on your internet connection. So this is something that you may need to start and you may need to get away from, walk away for a bit. One very important thing that we need to do first before we click anything inside of this launcher is change your 7 Days to Die folder. So I want you to click the browse button right here. What that's going to do is it's going to bring us down to our Steam, where Steam's installed, because it's going to detect Steam. It's going to detect your Steam library and detect your 7 Days to Die folder. Well, we don't want it to install in that 7 Days to Die folder because we want to be able to play the base game, and we also don't want any updates that Steam does to break the game. So this 7 Days to Die Starvation, that's the copy of the folder that we created earlier. I want to select that once so it's highlighted. It'll say it right here. Click on OK. Now what'll happen is you'll see here, you may have to click and drag and highlight it to move across to see everything, but it has the proper folder selected. So at this point, the next step, you click on Update. What this will do is it'll start downloading your files. So I'm getting terrible download rates right now from this. I should be getting, you know, like close to 100 megabits download. So I think what's going on is the servers I'm getting this from may be throttled, or there might be a lot of people grabbing from the server right now. I'm not sure. What we're going to do is we're going to sit right here and we're going to wait. And I'll cut the video and we'll come right back as soon as this is done. One thing that I forgot to mention before we keep moving forward is that the launcher will update when it's necessary to update. So if you download an older version of the launcher, which is completely possible, and you click the update button, what may happen is the game may shut down, or the launcher may shut down, and then after a few minutes, it could sometimes take 2 minutes in my experience, it may come back up again. And that's just basically relaunching it as the updated version. You will have to click the update or the sync button again. The update button will convert to a sync button in some cases. So I've got to do that. I've got to go ahead and actually download the real portion of the game now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll see you back in a few minutes. All right, so through the magic of editing, we are back pretty much instantaneously. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to point out that we have it fully updated. As I was talking about earlier, the update button changed to the sync button because when we click it again, all it's going to do is download the XML from the website and verify that we have everything downloaded as expected. So downloading a couple new XMLs, that'll be done here shortly. After the first update, though, you will notice on your desktop that you will get a Starvation icon that shows up. So that is one way that you can load back into this launcher and start the game if you just want to do it from your desktop. You can delete that icon if you don't want it there. So we've got that synced up, we've got it ready. There's the start button. We're pretty much ready to go at this point. But I want to show you a way that you can do it from within Steam, right? So I'm going to go ahead and actually close the Starvation mod for right now. If you're happy with the way it is at the moment, you can go ahead and start playing and just launch it from the launcher and you'll be good to go. So I'm going to close and minimize that. I'm going to close this window. So you see I have 7 Days to Die sitting here. What I want to do is I want to put Starvation in as a game. Go to Add a Game, add a non-Steam game, and I'm going to wait for this to come up. And if you wait a little while and you go down to the S's, it will find Starvation for you. If I can ABC, we'll get there faster. So we put a check mark next to Starvation and we hit Add Selected Programs. Next, what we do is we come down here and we find Starvation, and I'm going to make some changes. So this change is required. Under Set Launch Options, this is empty right here, and that's going into the properties of the Starvation shortcut that we just made. This Starvation shortcut on your desktop, if you go to Properties, there will be some extra items here. So in this target box, if you move all the way to the end, you'll see there's this thing that talks about 7 Days to Die data manage settings.ini. So what you want to do is take your cursor and you want to go to this SDX config. And then there's no UNet. That's new, this no UNet thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically hold down Shift and I'm going to highlight everything. There's faster ways to do this, but I just want to show you guys holding down Shift and holding the right arrow key will allow you to highlight that. Right click this, go to copy, cancel out of this so if we made a change it doesn't come up. Come right here, right click on that and hit paste. And you'll see that all of that stuff is there, starting with the no UNet and then the SDX config. Hit OK to save that into the launch options. And then up here, I'm going to call this 7 Days to Die Starvation for a couple reasons. One, I like it being right next to 7 Days to Die so I don't have to go all over the place and remember to look for Starvation. And two, it says Starvation instead of 7 Days to Die. Pretty simple. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come here and I'm going to hit play. And now what it's done is it has brought it up on my screen. When you start this game up, it is going to take a long time to load. That's just the way it is. It's loading a bunch of assets from the mod, and it just takes some time. So don't be alarmed. Right now I kind of have the little cursor that says, hey, I'm doing a bunch of stuff, just wait. That sometimes can mean a program is locked up. This one isn't. If I click in it a couple times, what'll end up happening, see if it does it right now. Sometimes what'll happen is the screen will turn white and it'll say the game is not responding. What do you want to do? If that's the case, you want to choose to wait because it will load. It just takes a long time. So we finally came up to the splash screen. We are still loading items right now. And now we finally are into the game. So at this point, you can connect to a server, you can play your own game, you could do whatever you like, and you are in fact playing the Starvation mod. There's nothing on the screen right now that'll indicate that, but once you get into the game, what'll happen is the upper right hand corner in a very light writing, it will say Starvation and it'll say the version number up there. Well, that about wraps it up. So just to go over the stuff that we've done in this video, we have downloaded the Starvation client, we have downloaded 7-zip, we have extracted the client, which then downloaded the mod. We made a copy of our 7 Days to Die folder to one that we can update without Steam messing it up, and that also leaves our existing 7 Days to Die safe where Steam can update that and we won't have any problems. I also showed you how to put the link inside the Steam library so that you can start it from there instead of having to either start it from the desktop or go through the launcher if you don't want to. Don't forget though, if you don't go into the launcher, you won't see if there's an update that you need to do. So with all that being said, I hope that you guys play the mod and you enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. And if you do happen to need a dedicated server, you can come over and see us at killservers.com. We do allow the mod to be installed. We actually have it set up in the control panel. You will need to open a support ticket to get that enabled, but it's something that we do offer. There are some fantastic gaming service providers out there that also offer the ability to run Starvation. If you're unsure, please don't buy a server from them first. Go to their support and ask them if they support, if they will allow you to run Starvation on there. Some can, some can't. There's many reasons why. But anyways, guys, I hope you have a lot of fun, and hopefully I will see you around in some of our other videos around here. Have a great day.